Hello everyone, I am Professor Ashwini Naik and today's class we are going to learn the second objective of business firm, that is wealth maximization. In previous class we have seen the objective profit maximization. As I have discussed in the previous class, there is still confusion between whether profit maximization should be the primary objective of firm or it should be wealth maximization that should be considered as basic objective of business firm. So many experts have contributed towards these objectives. Some experts says that profit maximization should be the sole objective of firm, wherein some experts says that it is wealth maximization that should be the primary objective of the firm. In today's class, we are going to learn about the wealth maximization. Wealth maximization means maximization of the market value of equity shares of the company, that is equity shareholders market value, and equity shares serves as a yardstick of the performance of a company. Therefore, this objective suggests any financial action which tends to create wealth should be selected. Under profit maximization, that is previous objective, we have seen that profit acts as a yardstick to measure the performance of the company. The experts, those who are in favor of profit maximization, says that profit is considered as a yardstick or it is considered as a scale to measure what performance of the company. Under wealth maximization, it is said that the wealth of the equity shares. Wealth of the equity shares is nothing but the market value of equity shares is considered as the yardstick. That means the firm whose market value of share is greater or higher is considered as the effective or the well-performing company. So under wealth maximization, it is assumed that the performance of the company does not depend on the profitability but on the market value of shares. That is why, read the first one. Wealth maximization means maximization of market value of equity shares. Why equity shares? Because equity shareholders are considered as owners of the company. Therefore, if there is increase in the property of the owners, that means if there is increase in the market value of equity shareholders, that means that the company is performing well. That is the reason wealth maximization should be the primary objective of the firm. And therefore this objective suggests any financial action which tends to create wealth should be selected. This means any activities the financial manager takes in the business organization should ultimately lead to creation of wealth of the equity shareholders. Therefore, only those activities should be considered or taken place by the finance manager which ultimately results in increase in the market value of the equity shares. Coming to next, arguments in favor of wealth maximization. Let us read these one by one. First one is it is clear. Second, time value of money. Third, promotes economic welfare of the shareholders. Fourth, protects interest of shareholders. Fifth, it helps in achieving other objectives. First point in favor of wealth maximization. It is clear. In case of profit maximization, the definition of meaning profit was not clear. That means whether the firm is talking about the short-term profit or long-term profit, it was not clearly mentioned. And whether the firm is talking about profit after tax or before tax, even that definition was not clearly mentioned in profit maximization. But in case of wealth maximization, the definition of wealth is clearly mentioned. What does wealth means? It is increase in the market value of share, means it is wealth maximization. Therefore, the meaning of term wealth maximization is mentioned or given clearly under this objective. Second, time value of money. As I told you, in case of profit maximization, the time, whether it is short term or long term, it was not mentioned clearly. But in case of wealth maximization, the time value of money is given importance. In profit maximization, the time value of money was not given importance. But in wealth maximization, it is considered that money earned today is more valuable than the money earned after certain time in the future. Therefore, second point in favor of wealth maximization is that the time value of money. Third, promotes economic welfare of shareholders. The objective itself says that increasing the shareholders' wealth. Increasing shareholders' wealth means increasing the value of shareholders by which they get more benefit from investing in the company. That means that it promotes economic welfare of shareholders. This objective aims at increasing the market value of shareholders. That means that it concentrates on welfare of the shareholders. Fourth, protects interest of shareholders. Protects interest of stakeholders. That means it does not concentrate only on increasing the wealth of shareholders, but also the stakeholders such as employees, customers, etc. are also given due attention, and their interest is also protected through the objective of wealth maximization. Fifth one, it helps in achieving other objectives. Apart from maximizing the wealth, it attains other objectives also, such as sales maximization, growth of the company, expansion, etc. So the arguments in favor of wealth maximization is, the definition of wealth maximization is clearly given under this objective. Time value of money is considered. It promotes welfare of the shareholders, that is owners of the company. It protects the interest of stakeholders. Stakeholders in the sense all the people who are related to the firm. Then it helps in achieving other objective also. We have seen positive part of wealth maximization. Let us see the negative part of this objective, that is arguments against wealth maximization. First one is government restrictions. There are lot many government restrictions when it comes to shares. There is a regulatory body which acts on the issue of financial instrument, that is called as Security Exchange Board of India. Therefore, share movement, share price movement, or increasing wealth of the firm is not completely in the hands of company, as it is regulated by the regulatory body called SEBI and the government. There are lot many restrictions on the firm, so in full-fledged it cannot achieve its objective wealth maximization. So one negative point is there are lot many government restrictions by which the objective wealth maximization cannot be achieved the way the company requires. Second, interest of society is not protected. What happens when the company focuses only on increasing wealth of equity shareholders? Sometimes the society is neglected. I mean, well-being of the society, providing quality goods and services to the customers or general public is ignored when concentration is only put on maximizing wealth of the shareholders. Second point is the interest of society is not protected under this objective. Third, equality of wealth is not maintained. That means wealth is not properly or equally distributed among the shareholders. Last point is, in corporate sector, ownership and management are separate. In corporate sector, ownership and management are separate means here owners, there are n numbers of equity shareholders for any company. Therefore, owners cannot come and look after the day to day activities of the business organization. Therefore, the company is looked after or looked after, or the activities are seen by the management. So there is in corporate sector, ownership and management are two different things. So this is what we have learnt in today's class, that is wealth maximization, its meaning, what are the arguments in favor of wealth maximization and arguments against wealth maximization. Next class will be covering another concept of the same subject.